And we know that folks are going to be remembering to grab their jackets before they leave the house this morning.
Yeah, nice tie-in, David. Pretty cold this morning, 5:14 right now on this Thursday morning. At least for most areas, not quite as cold as compared to yesterday morning. We had our lowest temperature at the Sunport yesterday all season at 15. Now we're sitting at 21. We're sitting at 3 right now in Moriarty. We're actually a little bit warmer at Sandia Park. A temperature inversion. Usually the higher up you go, the colder it gets, but colder air is more dense. When you have a warmer air mass, usually with a high pressure starting to approach, that sometimes leads to warmer weather a couple thousand feet above the valley areas. So a couple thousand feet above Albuquerque, 25 at Sandia Park, 21 at the Sunport, 19 in the South Valley. 19 Bernalillo, 20 Rio Rancho. We're even colder in Los Lunas, 12 degrees. So either way you slice it, it's cold out there, ranging from the single digits to the teens and low 20s across the Albuquerque metro. We got the very clear skies out there. We still have that waning gibbous moon highlighting the Sandias, the light on top of Sandia Peak, and downtown. A pretty cold morning out there with that northerly wind descending from the northern mountains. That colder air, again, more dense. It's feeling colder than the air temperature of 21, feeling like the teens bundle up out there. 55% relative humidity, still pretty dry out there. Now, just as cold, if not for some, colder compared to yesterday morning in the Four Corners. 12 right now in Farmington, 0 in Grants, -2 in Gallup, and even colder compared to yesterday morning in southeast New Mexico. 23 in Hobbs, 29 in Roswell. But for most areas, actually a little bit warmer compared to yesterday morning. We're sitting at -1 Alamosa. We're just a little bit warmer compared to yesterday at this time. -17, the lowest temperature all season in New Mexico in Angel Fire. You got to -7 earlier. We're still a little bit below 0 right now. 17 Raton, 30 in Clayton. 34, one of the warmer spots there in Deming across our viewing area. We got some wispy clouds from Socorro to the south. We'll likely have a beautiful sunrise with these clouds and a very few wispy clouds off to the north as well. And as temperatures rise, we'll see the drier weather, and temperatures will really rise in places like Raton, Clayton, Las Vegas, Santa Rosa, and Tucumcari in the upper 50s near 60 to the southeast as well. Upper 50s near 60-degree high temperatures, including Deming and Las Cruces. Near 50 in places like Albuquerque, upper 40s in places like Santa Fe. And a little bit warmer in the Four Corners, ranging from the high 30s, 40s, and low 50s, upper 20s in the high peaks. So temperatures a little bit back to above normal criteria for this time of the year. Average high close to 48, right around 50 this afternoon in Albuquerque. High-level thin passing clouds, but mostly sunny most of the day. Seasonably cold to start to a milder and drier air mass. And tracking these clouds, they'll move throughout the day today, providing a beautiful sunset, especially in the East Highlands today with the downsloping westerly winds providing, again, that sinking air, that warmer start this morning, that warmer afternoon today. We'll continue to deal with that trend tomorrow with only some sprinkles and flurries, mostly southwest of Albuquerque. Maybe, though, in the South Valley, Socorro and the Gila National Forest, you may wake up tomorrow morning with some sprinkles and flurries, not really amounted to too much. The bigger story tomorrow will be the stronger winds tomorrow afternoon, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the East Highlands, especially in the east slopes as well as in the western mountain communities. Some blowing dust, blowing snow from what we saw, the snowfall this past weekend, and also the elevated fire threat. Milder to the southeast, chilly to the northwest, and the temperature differences igniting the stronger winds. Not too windy, but then we'll have our next winter storm, cold and snow. Now, potentially the coldest air this season in northeast New Mexico, but potentially recent model runs suggesting it may not be quite as cold as what we initially thought. So expect changes not only to the cold air forecast, but for the snowfall forecast. We got this Arctic air mass clipping northern eastern New Mexico come, I would say, later this weekend, bringing in some spotty snow showers in the Enchanted Circle in the northeast highlands. Then an even colder air mass will move on through, but will that air mass move through the central mountains? Not too much. In the reserve and Deming in the 50s. Elsewhere, it will be colder on Monday, so something that we will keep an eye on. Durango, either way, you are going to cool off ahead with some stronger winds. Alamosa, single-digit below 0 morning temperatures. We may be even colder by next week. Dulce and Grants in Cuba, high temperatures in the upper 40s and 50s today. Cooler by the weekend to next week. Snow in the San Juan Mountains in the Gila National Forest potentially by next week, but mostly dry in the short term. Milder in the high 50s, low 60s today. In Alamogordo, Las Cruces ahead, but cooling off later this weekend. Las Cruces to Roswell, again, 50s and 60s in the short term. 30s for high temperatures Sunday to next week. In Ruidoso and Cloudcroft, you may see a little bit of snow. Capitoline, Clayton, the downsloping westerly winds providing that warming effect. But look at those high temperatures. Las Vegas may not get out of the teens by next week. Red River, Angel Fire, Espanola, Santa Fe. Highs today in the 30s, 40s, and low 50s. High 20s in the high peaks. Moriarty, Santia, Tijeras. Temperatures mostly today in the upper 40s. And from the north to south valley of Albuquerque, high 40s and low 50s. The warmest day of the week tomorrow, 53, but the cause of stronger winds, 48. Breezier on Saturday, and temperatures dropping Sunday to next week. Again, still a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. My best bet for the coldest and the snowiest will be in northeast New Mexico.
Yep, the fortunate ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the eye of the beholder, I guess.
There you go. All right, thanks a lot, Ryan.